Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It's me again, Dorothy Guyton, and I am so glad that you found me and that you're interested in what I speak on, which is manhood and the red pill men and their search for understanding women so they won't be frustrated and confused. And I'm just here to just give a talk about that. But today I'm doing something different. I am going to talk about the show Love is Blind. I'm probably behind the wave. It's probably done went by. Everyone had their 2 cents about it and plugged in and said what they wanted to say, but I have something to say about it. Okay, as you know, I wrote a book, Manhood Interrupted, an answer for the red pill man, that will be out April 2022, and I will let you know when it's available for purchase. And everyone knows that it's just a look in history and inflection points where manhood stumbled, had to be redefined for a changing world, and how it did so. And if we're at a point now where the definition of manhood or how manhood is perceived is in a redefining episode that needs to be changed, and is Gen Z going to be the one that do that, or the generation after that, and how manhood will show up in the rest of the 21st century and beyond. If you watch my videos, hit the subscribe button so you can see when a new video comes out. But I'm covering mainly my book. As I said, some people are wary. I think it's a problem to have a female discussing manhood. So I don't think I get as many views as I would get if I was a man discussing it. So where are my ladies at? I wish my ladies would come and join in on the conversation of manhood. And you may have sons. You may gonna have sons in the future. And this would be so helpful to you in parenting to understand what manhood is, so you can help usher your child into manhood when the time comes. But it shouldn't be a certain date, just like the sex talk. It's not like, let's wait till she's 16 or 14 and have the sex talk. The sex talk is going on all the time in ways at the appropriate age for the child to understand. So is ushering your son into manhood or womanhood. You just don't wait for a date and then say, now is the date. Even though I'm going to discuss rites of passage in another video coming up. But you all the time letting them know that there's a difference between a child and an adult. It's different what what's expected from a child, and responsibilities and the responsibilities of adult. So like I say, just go through my videos and check them out. I have several of them. I pop up. Yes, I pop up. And just listen to some of them. Give them a chance. You may enjoy it, may learn something, or you may have a comment that is so important to me and to other people. But today we're going to talk about the show Love is Blind. And what it was an experiment where people would have the chance to date many people, but they're separated by a wall. They're in what's a pod, a room, where they sit in there alone, each, the man on one side, the woman on one side, and they're separated by a wall. They cannot see each other, but they can hear each other. And they're saying, can you fall in love with the person that you do not see, but by having conversations? And the people say the conversations got deep and detailed, and they did feel like they connected with people. And once the connection was made, of course, it was the man that would decide that he would ask the female, will you marry me? And then the answer, yes or no. And if it is yes or no, then they had a certain amount of days to get to know each other and get married. It wasn't a long period of time. People, we talk about this short period of time, and I was shaking my head. There is no way someone is falling in love in 2 weeks through conversation with each other, but they said they did. So I think they had about 6 couples that did offer marriage, and the woman said yes, and then they were able to see each other. And all of the people happened to be attractive people, so that wasn't a problem. So everyone was pleasantly surprised, and they were like, yeah, I made the right choice. I fell in love with you before I saw you. Now I see you. So then they went to like Mexico and spent a few days together and like a honeymoon. And then they didn't have any social media. So all of this was intense, just focused on dating. And then they went back home and they had the social media. Then they had to meet the parents, and then they had to plan the wedding. Then they got to the altar, and at the altar was when they said, whether love was blind, do you want to marry? You have to say, I do or I don't. And one couple flaked out in Mexico. They didn't even make it back home. Then the 5 that was there, 2 couples said, I do. 3 couples said they couldn't get married. And the 2 couples that did, it's like cheering for them. They were nice people, well-rounded people. And that's what I'm going to say. So you could see automatically in the couple dynamic if the man is reserved and aloof and not spilling his guts, or as the woman say, let me in, she chased him more. And of course, vice versa. If the woman was reserved, not giving all of herself, a little distant, a little aloof, the man chased her more. And you got to imagine that while they were doing this dating, probably about 2 weeks, I'm not sure, don't hold me to it, that everyone was on their best. The only thing they was presenting was their best. You never heard so much agreement. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's special. And the man, oh, that's so interesting. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, you're so different. Everyone was yesing each other to death. And then, of course, agreeing, I feel the same way. Oh, that's what I feel about it. Wow. And just telling the person, wow, making the person feel special. Every time the person said something, it was like a wow, you're just awesome with what you said, and you're so funny. You have such a sense of humor, and oh, he just makes me laugh. And they were laughing. He said, hello. And the women would fall out laughing. And then the women would say, oh, you sound so interesting. And the men would be over there cheering and fist pumping. When you're dating, you are fishing, and you know what bait you are using. You have a toolbox, you have a hook, and you have bait. You're nice, you're pleasant, you're agreeable, you're compromising, you have wonder like a kid, and you giggle at everything. There's no stern anything said on any occasion. If he likes hot dogs, you think hot dogs are the best. Where do you get your hot dogs? And you have a discussion on hot dogs like they're the best discovery. And this is where I get my, oh, you're kidding. That's amazing. Everything was amazing. Anything anybody said, it was just level 15. And that's what people do when they're dating. That's what they do when they're trying to lure you in, trying to hook you with the bait. Now, the red pill community has a word for snowflake. The snowflake only presents to you her good side. You will not see her bad side whatsoever, right? Men do it too. Be honest. You only present your good side. Oh, you up in the morning sending poetry in the text messages. Somehow you find poetry to send and little things of admiration, and you put a little thought into it. And this doesn't be big gestures, because you know little things mean a lot. It could be a single little flower. One guy gave a girl a bow tie because they was tied together. How sweet. One gave an empty box because he was gonna fill it with himself and love. Y'all keep saying you gotta dish out money. Any little thing when you're dating, it's just lure me in. When they want you, it lures them in. Now 90-day fiance, where poor man is over there with the girl who thinks she can be a model and want breast implants, and he done paid her rent, her furniture, take care of her kids, and now she mad because he won't give her breast implants, and he's disgusted. She flipped on him. And that's what y'all say. I'm confused. Everything went right, everything was great, everything was good, and then boom, she just changed up on me. After the fishing when the fisherman reels it in and they are so happy with that fish, it's like, wonderful, look at this. Some fishermen throw it back. It's over. I don't need the fish. I was just out here to catch it. Some of them get the fish, look at it, toss it on the boat floor. Thing just flopping, 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 just so pitifully until it dies. Some fishermen get it and put it on ice to preserve it so it stay fresh, won't decay till he get back and use it. In many cultures, especially in the Native American culture, they thanked the fish for its giving its life so that they could have life. And they say, I respect you. I am so thankful and grateful to you. And I honor that I will have you to help me to survive. I take no more from the land than I need and no less from the land that I leave. And I'm respectful. So you have fishermen doing all these scenarios. You have fisherwomen doing all these scenarios. So if it's a snowflake woman, there's a sleek man then. How about a sleek man? But I understand the snowflake, never the same, different, changed up, hit the ground, disappeared, gone, ghost, right? So we have to understand that this is nothing particular to just one person. And Love is Blind really does show the immediate fishing that goes on. If people could stay that pleasant and that agreeable and that excited and make you feel special and like a wonder forever, there would be no divorce. There would be no divorce. But we dropped that. We dropped that quick. I'm married. I'm not in this state all the time. But as I got older, I started wanting to make sure every night when I say my prayers that I say, Lord, I hope that my husband feels loved by me and my children feel loved by me, because it's important. Back in the day when I had a lot of stress going on, this and that and everything like that, sometimes it's just irritating, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have time for it. But now I have that time, and life is better because I've grown and changed as time went on and fed myself different things and just became different. There's nothing more important than that relationship where I say, I hope I make him feel special and loved. And it's you do your job, you do it. Okay, so the thing about when I said if one was reserved, the other one was the chaser. So it doesn't matter. Men are saying be stoic, be aloof, don't be available. So she will have absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing going on. And she will keep pulling towards you because you're not always there. And I would say if you're continuing to use strategy to get someone, move the chess piece here, move the checker piece there, king over here, queen over here, whatever it is, if you manipulating and using strategy, you're not even in the relationship. You're not engaged in the person. You're not intimate when you're using maneuvers in a relationship. It's not two people living, forming an intimate bond. It is one person strategizing to make sure you don't leave me. It's power and control. And a lot of the books that for the Red Pill community are about power, control, and dating and marrying. So it is a purpose of power and control. And you will have power and control through tactics to manipulate a person and affect, just ding in and target an emotion to have here. But you're not in a relationship. You will not become intimate, bonded together. You can't bond with someone that is being manipulated and controlled through actions, and you know what action to perform to get what you want. You said, but everybody does that. Everybody has a response or an intention to get a specific reaction or a thing. Yes. But when you're in a relationship, what you're looking for is a person to become one with, not a person that you can keep and hang around. You're looking for someone that fits you to become one. And do you enter a marriage forever not speaking to her so she miss you? I'm going to go away over here and never be available, unavailable, and not at her beck and call, so I can make sure I keep her and she want me. Well, she may want you, but you ain't around. What is she going to fill her time with? Why you won't answer the phone, you won't text back, you going to play golf for 5 or 6 hours, then you go on this and this and this. Now, do not get me wrong. I want this to be said clearly. When you're in a relationship, you shouldn't have to give up your friends. When you're in a relationship, you should be allowed, and I say allowed, but it's not giving permission to allow. You should have passions and interests outside of just your wife. You need things to feed you as you go through life so you can bring in new things to discuss with your wife and share, and vice versa. She needs passions and hobbies, not always just looking for you to entertain her. And then she can bring in exciting things that she learned and that she knew, and it's growth. And then you come back and feed each other, and it's constant growth, constant growth, constant growth. When you just get someone that say, I don't like your friends whatsoever, I don't like your family whatsoever, I don't like you being out whatsoever. What do you like, honey? You like a hamster in a cage. Really? That's what you like, a hamster. Go ahead and say, I want a hamster husband. Or the man, what do you want? A hamster wife. I want a hamster. So there's a sense of maturity that must go into a marriage. But if you're deciding to say, I am going to practice not being so available for her, I will not be there all the time. There are legitimate reasons. I hope you have legitimate reasons. Hey, dear, I'm going to go golfing, and I'll probably be on a golf course for 4 or 5 hours with the guys, so I probably won't be answering any calls, okay? Enjoy your day as I'm going to enjoy my day. See you later tonight or see you tomorrow. Nothing wrong with that. You're not available for 4 or 5 hours. If sister can't make it and has to keep texting you and texting you and texting you when you just said you was off to do something for entertainment, for enjoyment with the guys, and she can't even let you be alone during that time, red flag. That's what I say. Don't I'm going to start ignoring her, and then this, oh, come on. It's just going to be a mess going downhill, shit running down, rolling downhill. You have to have a mature person. You have to act mature. And you're like, well, I don't have to tell her where I'm going. No, you don't. But I'm going to get to that. Why it's a good idea when you care about someone, when someone starts worrying about your well-being, when people start knowing you, they do care about your welfare. I haven't heard from him in 2 days. The first thing is do he still want me? Has something gone wrong? Is he okay? All of that goes in once you begin to start seeing someone. But it seems like really the red pill man doesn't have a problem. Well, he does have he has a problem meeting a woman and starting a relationship. And that's difficult. I have 3 daughters in this time period, and it is very difficult to meet someone and start a relationship. I know other men think it's just them that are struggling to meet someone and they're interested in you and to start a relationship. But there are many television shows where women are hit the wall, as you say, in their 30s and 40s, and they're like, I can't find someone to date and marry. It's just been so difficult. You see the guy, you put on everything you possibly can. This is all my plumage. You're doing like the peacock, you know, strutting and showing all those feathers and saying, look, this is what you can have. I'm attracted to you. Look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm beautiful. Look over here. And they just walk away like you're a pigeon. If that happens several times, it really does wear on your self-esteem. For my younger daughter, who dates a lot, and she does a lot of the rejecting, and the guys do a lot of rejecting. And I'm like, I don't know how you can. I would be so devastated. I would just be couldn't rebound from all of that. It is rough. It is absolutely rough out in it. And I'm like, I'm so happy I'm not dating in this time period, because it is absolutely brutal. It's brutal. And one of the things that I'm saying when I speak of fishing, and I'm going to get into it in detail. I always say I'm going to get into detail, but I have to go in the order of my book. I don't want to get ahead of the book. I want to do it chapter by chapter, because it's set up in a time frame from one time period. And so far we covered the origin of man. And I'm talking about when the gods, little g, the myth of the origins of man. And the next thing that we're going to get into is the caveman. He comes next. But I've named the book within the before the origins is the rite of passage. So I have the rite of passage man, the caveman, then it's going to be the Genesis man. Okay, but I have written all of that, and like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but because of social media, you can tap a button and up pop all these beautiful women who say, I want somebody. I'm looking for somebody. This is me. Look at me. I ride a little bike, and I read, and I'm an entrepreneur, all of this. And you click and you're like, hi, and it's hi, and everything. And then it's downhill so quick, because there's somebody else pressing a button. Hi, hi. People like likes. People love likes on social media. I'm not the exception. I'm waiting for likes on these videos. I'm waiting for comments on these videos that I post. People like likes. I have one like on one video. That's a rejection to me also. But when you're in a dating relationship, it's a different type of rejection. So we got social media where you get all this accolade, and those likes say, you're beautiful, you're interesting, I desire you, I want you. And that person that's doing it has to have that feeling also that you want to have. Everybody's out here for this field. These women talking about this and this with all the makeup and hair and everything, they're living off of likes and attention, but they're not living in relationships. So social media has interrupted dating and the relationship process a lot, and I will talk about that later. I'm at 22 minutes. I always want to do under 30-minute videos so you can pop in and get what I'm speaking on, and it won't take you long, take up your whole day. I will continue this Love is Blind Part 2 for you, and it will be available, like I always say. You can check me out at Dorothy Guyton at DorothyGuyton.blogspot.com. I speak on women's issues. I interview women, and I post, I hope, some entertaining blogs for people to take a break and enjoy. So you can find me on my blog spot. You can also find me on Twitter at In Defense of Women. That's the letter N-D-E-F-E-N-S-E of Women. In Defense of Women on Twitter. I also have a Facebook page, and that's Dorothy Guyton Author. And I really appreciate if you stop over there and follow that page and keep up there, because that's where I'll do other books that I have written. Okay, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and join the conversation. I want to try to pull some women into this also. I know I don't curse. I know I don't do any of the other things that draw attention. I have this little plain setup. I'm not even glitz and glam to get your attention, but I feel that if I have quality and consistency, and I'm speaking on something that matters to me and hope that it matters to you, that people will come. I believe the Lord will bring whoever is needed to my word as I speak it, because that's what I do. My intent is to be a help, not a hindrance. So, as always, God loves you, and I love you also. Have a happy, happy day, and be healthy, okay?